Hey, Facebook world. I am going to start something new today. I'm really excited that every day at around 1 o'clock on my personal Facebook page, I am going to start doing Facebook Lives. Just a few minutes of encouragement, maybe offering some sort of a tip of the day, but just excited to be able to just share my heart a little bit more. I'll be doing the same thing on a different topic over on my public page, my Jill Savage author page, in the evenings around 8 o'clock Central Time, something like that. So I'm really excited to be able to just share my heart a little bit more. I just noticed as I'm standing here in my dining room, I don't know if you can see, but we have, let's see, we still have our Thanksgiving decorations up. Yes, I know. I saw so many people that had their Christmas decorations up. They got them up this weekend after Thanksgiving. I don't know when we're going to do Christmas decorations. We're still in Thanksgiving mode. So anyway, but what I want to share with you today is I want to share with you about dealing with disappointment. Because I think that we all deal with disappointment at some time or another. Probably most of us deal with disappointment every day, honestly. I mean, sometimes there's big disappointments that we deal with, and sometimes there's just the little disappointments of life that we deal with. But I want to just talk about kind of two steps that has been helpful for me in dealing with disappointment. So whether it's that your day is not going the way that you thought it would, whether it's that your child is in a hard season, your marriage isn't what you want it to be, maybe you got a diagnosis and that is, just completely turns your world upside down. Or maybe if you're a parent, you're just dealing with disappointment and maybe your child is not turning out the way you imagined. Like you loved baseball as a kid and you imagined that you were going to have a baseball player, and then instead you've got a piano player. And you're just like, wait a minute, this isn't what I thought it would look like. And so no matter whether we're talking about what feels like really big life-changing disappointments or just little stuff that we deal with every day when we have to come face-to-face with our own expectations, we're going to talk about dealing with disappointment. So anyway, there are two steps that I think are really important for us to understand when we're dealing with disappointment. And that is we have to grieve what isn't, and we have to accept what is. I know it seems logical, but let's look at that for just a moment. When we grieve what isn't, here's what I've come to learn, that grieving is the very first step in untangling ourselves from broken dreams. And whether that broken dream is literally a life-changing situation, or whether that broken dream is just that you've gotten up and your day isn't going the way that you thought, it's a broken dream, okay? And so we have to grieve what isn't. We have to accept that. We have to be sad. We have to ache for what we thought life was going to look like in this moment, and it doesn't. And so we have to be able to express those feelings. And one of the best places to express those feelings is to express them to God. He understands. I'll tell you what, Jesus experienced every emotion that we experience on this earth: disappointment, betrayal. Jesus experienced to be what it feels like to be tired, exhausted, what it feels like to be let down. And so that's one of the best places. If you've got a friend that you can just share with, and that friend doesn't want to fix things, they just are willing to feel with you, or maybe you can be that friend for someone who is dealing with their own disappointment. So that's the grieving part. And then we have to accept what is. And when we accept what is, we're accepting our new normal. We're learning to see the opportunities for growth in this season of time. And that is hard for us sometimes to do. And sometimes we try to jump over that very first step, the grieving what isn't, right into accepting what is. And especially if you're more of a buck up person, okay, this is the way I'm designed. I'm a lot more of a buck up person. And so I was kind of skipping over the grieving part and jumping into the accepting part because that's just the way I'm kind of naturally wired. But what I've come to understand is no. That grieving part is really important. Really, really important because it helps to entangle you from those broken dreams so that you are free to move into and accepting that new normal. There's a couple of verses in the Bible that I think are so very important. One is in Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, where God says, "Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." And there's another one that goes right along with that, just a few verses later. This is in Isaiah 41:13, where he says, "For I, the Lord your God, will hold your right hand." You know what? When I was going through my cancer diagnosis, this verse was a verse that I claimed over and over again. There were times I had to actually go through some pretty uncomfortable tests, treatments, and I would imagine God holding my right hand, literally. I remember when they were wheeling me back into surgery, I just kind of balled my hand up into a fist of like I was holding God's right hand with my right hand. And so sometimes we actually, scripture can carry us through those hard moments. And then the other one is a verse found in Psalm. This is in Psalm 34, and this is 18. "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit." So what I want you to know is that whatever disappointment you're dealing with today, whatever has broken your heart, God understands that. He is drawing near to you. And my encouragement to you is to to grieve what isn't and to accept what is. Thanks, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.